The Foxes looked to be heading for victory before substitute Connor Roberts leveled in the 80th minute, and teenager Archie Gray sparked pandemonium moments later when his deflected strike beat Mads Hermansen at his near post. With Leicester losing their discipline, Dan James' 20-yard free kick in stoppage time bounced off Patrick Bamford and in to move second-place Leeds to within 6 points of Leicester. In an action-packed encounter at Elland Road, the visitors took a deserved lead when Wout Faes, who had the final touch on Gray's strike, headed in unmarked from a corner. Enzo Maresca's men started the second half as they did the first, and Steffi Mavididi drew a good save from Ilan Meslier in the Leeds goal, before Patson Daka wrongly had a goal ruled out for offside after Jannik Vestergaard's towering header came back off the crossbar. Daka was onside when Vestergaard made contact with the ball, and Leeds' Jorginho Rutter then deflected the rebound into the Leicester man's path before he fired into the net. The Zambian striker missed a brilliant chance to make it 2-0 when he shot wide when played in on goal, and that miss proved to be very costly as the Foxes fell to a second straight defeat. The Foxes looked to be heading for victory before substitute Connor Roberts leveled in the 80th minute, and teenager Archie Gray sparked pandemonium moments later when his deflected strike beat Mads Hermansen at his near post. With Leicester losing their discipline, Dan James' 20-yard free kick in stoppage time bounced off Patrick Bamford and in to move second-place Leeds to within 6 points of Leicester. In an action-packed encounter at Elland Road, the visitors took a deserved lead when Wout Faes, who had the final touch on Gray's strike, headed in unmarked from a corner. Enzo Maresca's men started the second half as they did the first, and Steffi Mavididi drew a good save from Ilan Meslier in the Leeds goal, before Patson Daka wrongly had a goal ruled out for offside after Jannik Vestergaard's towering header came back off the crossbar. Daka was onside when Vestergaard made contact with the ball, and Leeds' Jorginho Rutter then deflected the rebound into the Leicester man's path before he fired into the net. The Zambian striker missed a brilliant chance to make it 2-0 when he shot wide when played in on goal, and that miss proved to be very costly as the Foxes fell to a second straight defeat. Liverpool head into Sunday's Carabao Cup final aiming to win the first of a potential 4 trophies this season, while Chelsea target their first domestic trophy for 6 years. The game is a rematch of both the Carabao and FA Cup finals of 2022, with Liverpool winning both on penalties. The Reds lead the Premier League by 4 points and are into the Europa League last 16 and FA Cup 5th round. "We'll go for it," said Liverpool's assistant manager Pep Linders. "It's a special game. Special games need special performances, so we have to focus on the performance." With Linders and manager Jurgen Klopp set to leave Anfield this summer, Liverpool fans are eager for them to enjoy a triumphant send-off, having already won 6 major honors since Klopp took charge in 2015. "Our philosophy is to give joy and emotions to the fans," added Linders. "I'd really happy that we can give at least a final to start with." Defender Virgil van Dijk, who will captain the Reds in a Wembley final for the first time on Sunday, said, "We want to make it a special day and get our first trophy of the season. The end of the season will probably be very emotional for a lot of people, including the manager, but we are not there yet. We shouldn't look too far ahead. We should look at what is in front of us." Chelsea's last domestic trophy was the 2018 FA Cup, although they won 4 international honors after that, the most recent being the Club World Cup in February 2022. 2 weeks before they lost to Liverpool in the 2022 Carabao Cup final. Manager Mauricio Pochettino, who took charge at Stamford Bridge last summer, can win his first prize in England after previous spells in charge of Southampton and Tottenham. "It means a lot for us, the coaching staff, to get to the final and challenge a team like Liverpool," said the Argentine. "It's a dream for us. We have the opportunity, and we are going to fight. I think the team is ready, and we're going to be very competitive." Erik ten Hag has defended his decision not to bring in extra striking support after Rasmus Højlund's injury left Manchester United without a recognized centre-forward for up to 3 weeks. United's £72 million summer signing scored for the 6th successive Premier League game in Sunday's 2-1 win at Luton Town. But Denmark striker Højlund, 21, will now miss the club's next 3 games. Is a small injury, 2 or 3 weeks, said Ten Hag. Is a risk in high-intensity training. Højlund will be absent for the home league game against Fulham on Saturday, Wednesday's FA Cup 5th round tie at Nottingham Forest, and the Manchester Derby at City on 3 March. He has scored 13 goals in 30 appearances for United in all competitions since joining from Serie A side Atalanta on a 5-year deal. Højlund's injury comes as United's other central striker Anthony Martial is recovering from groin surgery he had last month, which will keep him out until April. Given Martial's patchy form and fitness over the past 2 seasons, relying on the Frenchman seemed a risk. In January 2023, United signed Burnley forward Wout Weghorst on loan, but the Dutchman scored just 2 goals in 31 appearances. Ten Hag says a combination of what he had seen from Martial on the pitch, the former Monaco man's wages, and the wider financial fair play restrictions created by United's recent heavy spending in the transfer market were the reasons he brought no further backup to Old Trafford. First of all, striker options are most difficult to fill this in, especially on our level, he said. Last season, Martial did great things for us. We played our best football last year with Anthony Martial as a striker. He is also on high payment in this club, so when you bring another one in, you strike him out. When it was suggested to Ten Hag that Martial was not a player whose availability could be trusted and contingencies should have been put in place during the summer, Ten Hag was blunt in his response. That is very naive, added the Dutchman. Strikers are not cheap. We thought we had options. But when a Martial injury develops, I wanted to bring in a striker in the winter, but it was not possible. And similar was the problems we already had with FFP in the summer. There was real shortage on good options. That is why we were very happy to sign Rasmus Højlund, who is a player at the level of Manchester United. Scott McTominay is the club's second highest goal scorer in all competitions this season, behind Højlund, with 8 goals. United also lost left-back Luke Shaw earlier in the week after he suffered a leg injury that could keep him out for months. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Lisandro Martinez, Mason Mount, and Tyrell Malacia are all sidelined too. Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola believes Manchester United will be back with the help of new investor Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe's deal to buy a 27.7% stake in Manchester United was completed on 20 February. The British billionaire says he hopes United can knock cross-city rivals City off their perch. Responding to the comments, Guardiola said, "As soon as the teams admit it, they will be closer to us." The 53-year-old Catalan added, "If they want to deny it for things that are not the reality, then it's their problem. It's not our problem. When I've been below teams, I've always admired them and thought about what we need to do to be close, to challenge them. When we were below and United were winning, we were watching them, admiring them. That's why, for these type of comments, that I have the feeling that they will be back." Guardiola has led Manchester City to the Premier League title in each of the past 3 seasons, and in 5 of his 6 completed campaigns at Etihad Stadium. City won the treble of Champions League, Premier League and FA Cup in 2022-23, and Guardiola has won 14 major trophies since taking charge in the summer of 2016. Manchester United have won 3 trophies since Guardiola arrived across the city, but new investor Ratcliffe has high hopes of bridging that gap in the near future. Speaking to BBC Sport earlier this week, Ratcliffe spoke about building a new state-of-the-art stadium close to the current Old Trafford ground, while he also revealed an ambition to develop the squad as they attempt to become more competitive on all fronts. Guardiola, speaking before Saturday's Premier League trip to Bournemouth, said, "It's not about being worried. I'm pretty sure with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the other people that United are going to take a step forwards. I feel that they know exactly what they have to do, appoint the people they need to appoint with their experience in the business world to make projects better. But that is normal. It's not just United. All the teams want it. We want to be there, and as long as I'm here, we will try to be there again. What I want is Man City, my team, being there. The rest, I don't care." Manchester City are second in the Premier League and 4 points behind leaders Liverpool, although they have a game in hand, while Manchester United are 6th.